Hello everyone, welcome to another stream by Trace 5. I just realized I had my microphone muted again. I will be your host for today, again, Kelf. You'll soon be having David as well, as I've already given you a sneak peek. Are the levels good? I'm not even sure if the levels are good. Oh no. Are they? Yeah, they are. Okay, good. Can you hear music this whole time? Oh, damn it, it's not taking music. Can you hear music? Okay, now you can. Now you should be able to hear music. Okay, it's good. Alright. Hey, Circle. How's it going? So, bit of a slow stream today. We're gonna take it a little bit chill, and we're gonna have a story time. So, I figured it's the end of the year, and you know, at the end of the year, you always have like this little recap of everything that has happened. You try to see where you are, see where you're at, try to think about certain things, try to reconsider things. Music is loud, is it? Ah, damn it. Alright, it should be better now. I hope it's not loud anymore. Is it loud now? Should be fine. Anyway, so basically, something happened recently. Oh my god, there's so many people sending me messages. The music is too loud. Ah! Alright, so basically, something happened recently, and I wanted to address it, actually. And the thing is, I didn't really want to directly address it. Well, I do want to directly address it, but I feel like the better way to do this is by not, going against anybody, but just letting people know my story about Netrunner. And I figured the most fun way and the most innocent way to do this is just tell you my story, which is gonna make for a fun stream. So I'm just gonna start out by saying it. The reason why I'm starting the stream is because I always love sharing my stories. I'm a storyteller, right? I am a storyteller. I make my living out of writing stories, out of telling my stories as well. So, hey DJ NRD. So basically, most of my stories, as most of you know, for the last 7 years at least, have been mostly about Netrunner. Now, Netrunner is a huge part of my life. I moved here in the Netherlands around 7 years ago, I believe, 7.5 years ago. Don't be direct, just encode a secret message 1 letter per stream for 10 years. Yes! By the way, this is not gonna be a monologue, so please, if you want to say something, I do still read comments and I will try to, answer things. So basically, 7 years ago, I've said this story many times of how I started Netrunner. I played a lot of chess. I was a very competitive player. and I was pretty good as well. And like, like top 15, top 20 good in the not in the world, in the country. And basically, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. And my brother brought me to a board games meeting, like in Thessaloniki, like back in my hometown. And I saw so many people like that didn't know how to play any games, and I was one of them as well. And everybody was like, oh, let's just get together. I don't know these people. Let's just get together and play this game. It looks cool. And we would learn the rules. Somebody would tell us, and we would just start playing. It was amazing. And I fell in love with board games then, and I started like playing a few, started collecting a few for myself. And when I moved to the Netherlands, like a few months afterwards, I was like, I gotta find people to do this, I gotta find people to play board games with. And I had like a few games, most of them were sci-fi. It's like, I had Netrunner, I had Race for the Galaxy, I had like quite a few games like that. It was a good time. Like when I got to the Netherlands, starting the university and all that, I basically didn't know that many people. I thought that I would meet more people like through the university, which never happened because everybody was just not exactly, my style, not like the kind of person that I would hang out with. Like the usual people like that would go to university around like 18 to 20 years old are very much about drinking and stuff. I was not all about that. I was more about like, chilling home, watching movies, like, going for a beer once in a while and playing jazz, like, jamming. So I was a more chill kind of like type. I wasn't like all about partying. Not that the other thing is a bad thing. I'm just saying like it was different. So board games, a gateway drug to D&D. Yes! Oh, I played D&D since I was like 12, 13, by the way, because of my brother. Because I have two brothers 8 and 10 years older than me. So anyway, it led to the point where like at some day I went to the board game store, Gamers of the West in Rotterdam. And I went inside the store, and there were like these super cool kids in the back playing Netrunner. I didn't know they were playing Netrunner, but anyway, I started talking with the store owner. I asked him if it was the board games night. He said, yeah, just sit down and people will come. And this super cool kid again, called Robert, who is now my best friend here in the Netherlands, came and asked me, hey, do you play Netrunner? Hey kid, wanna buy some Netrunner? No. It would have been totally Robert if he did that, but he actually just came and said, hey, do you play Netrunner? I said, well, I got the game. I've played like, you moved to the NL and didn't go for the drugs? No. I've never done drugs actually. I've never done pot either, ever in my life. I've been a jazz musician for as long as I can remember my adult self. And I've been in the Netherlands for over like 7 years at this point. Well, I've traveled a lot, so probably not 7 years full, but I've never done drugs. Like, I'm actually the kind of person that doesn't drink too much and doesn't do drugs. But yeah, that's like, that's a very common question actually. That is a good question. But basically, I said, yeah, I've played like 3 times. I have the board game at home and like 2 data packs, I don't know. And he said, yeah, you should bring some decks and we should play. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool, I'll do that. And I did. And I think it was like, we met up on Wednesdays or Mondays, I don't remember, I think Mondays. And I joined some other board game groups. I didn't enjoy them as much because the people were a little bit different. I was still getting through the cultural shock and all that because, a Greek person moving to the Netherlands. I don't know if you know Greek culture and Dutch culture, but those two are kind of like, it's kind of hard. Anyway, I went there. I had a blast. Oh my god! And it wasn't even because the game was amazing. Kelf say, hack the planet, the responsible kids, don't do drugs. No, don't do drugs. Well, I know quite a lot of people that do drugs because I was in the music industry and I still am. And most of those people will tell you that it's really fun, but they're very responsible. Most of the people that I know are very responsible about it. So no. Being in the Netherlands though, I do have, I know that pot is not drugs. Pot is not drugs. It's something recreational, honestly. It just don't get addicted to it. Anyway, and I had a blast. And it wasn't even because Netrunner was an amazing game. It was because the people were amazing. And this is my segue into telling you like my story because basically Netrunner has been my entire life. If not like, okay, not my entire life, but it has been like a huge part of it since I ever started it, since I ever moved abroad, right? So I grew as a person like since I moved abroad all the way to where I am now. I've become so much more, culturally, accepting, like, all of these things, like, more emotionally intelligent, all that. Yay, look at you, Kelf, you grew up. Well, everybody does that. Surprise! No, but basically my point is that I just wanted to tell this story because apart from the fact that I do like telling stories, something happened recently, and I will get to that. that made me feel really, really bad. It actually kind of like made me feel like very destroyed, actually. And I had this feeling a year ago or so, and a friend talked me out of it. Like, help me. But the thing is, like, I just want to get it out there. Like, some people really don't like me, and I can understand that up to a certain point. And I just want to get it out there, what's Kelf's story? What's Kelf's take on all this? I'm not going to put any blame, I'm not going to say any names. I might say 1-2 names, that I feel comfortable with saying, that I know they're going to be okay, or, it is okay to say. But I will tell you the full story. Like, well, let me start by saying I'm a very extra person, right? I can be very intense. This is why I do so well in social situations. Like, I'm very a social butterfly and all that. And Netrunner was like, kind of like a perfect combination for me, because all the people that I met here, well, all the people that I met in the first year became like really good friends of mine. Like in the Netherlands especially, most of the people I still hang out with them. They, like 5 of them, the Mon guy, the guys that I call them the Mon guy, by the way. We call ourselves the Mon guy because the whole altar Desperado Mongoose, that was like the thing of the Hague meta. So basically, at some point, drunk Alex, like installed two mongooses, and we just went like all over him, and we're like, "How do you call that? Is that mongooses?" And then Robert just jumped and said like, "It's mongai." It's like everything that you don't know the plural of, you just do an AE. So anyway, agenda, so on, so on. I've made this joke a lot of times. It's kind of funnier if you're in the group. But anyway, basically we call ourselves a Mongai, and they don't play Netrunner anymore, not as much at least. And they were not always that casual or that competitive about it. They, kind of went in and out of it. But they're beautiful people, and they were all much older than me, and I still cling so well with them, and I still do. We will still hang out, play other board games and stuff, and it's amazing. If anything, when I left the Netherlands like 2 years ago to go back to Greece for a year, they were the people that I hung out with for the last day of my time here in the Netherlands, and it was so emotional. It was amazing. It was actually, the people that I learned from Netrunner were still the people that I was like in love with when it came to like, the friends that I had here. So this meant a lot. But anyway, over the years, like, again, I will say I'm a very extra person. Like, I can see why people will actually, people that don't know me and will see me chatting online might seem like, might think, oh, that guy's like kind of annoying or something like that. I can totally fall behind that. But I never understood the hatred or like, why people are actually, so keen in actually going against me or like, trying to avoid me. So I've always tried to make amends, and I may not have been the best at it in the past, and I know I've made mistakes in the past. So this is why, again, I want to tell the story. So anyway, it started off like I started playing Netrunner. The week after that, literally the week after the first time I went to my first Netrunner meeting, like casual meeting, the guys said, like, random guys. I'm saying the guys because I didn't even know their names yet. I knew Robert and I knew Tim, and that was pretty much it. I didn't even know the other guys' names. I didn't even remember their names. And they said, "Oh, we're going to Germany," and I'm like, "What? What are you on about?" "Yeah, there's a regionals. You should totally come. We're gonna carpool." And I'm like, "Wait a minute. I don't know how to play the game. Are you kidding me?" Like, I still think that you can use all of the faction agendas in one deck. Like, and they're like, no, you should come. It's gonna be awesome. And we did. And I don't remember exactly which place in Germany it was. And I do remember some faces of German players still. Like, I still know some of them since then. And I got destroyed. My biggest highlight was basically the fact that I managed to use a copycat on an Eli on the outermost position of R&D to go into the innermost position of the remote and steal the last agenda to win the game. In the last round, by the way, I was like, in the bottom 10 of the standings. But that was amazing. I loved it. I had so much fun even though I got destroyed. My friends also didn't do that well, but all I remember is just that, we went there laughing and we came back laughing even more. So I call that a win-win scenario. So anyway, fast forward through a few tournaments where I basically crashed and burned, and I was basically just getting destroyed all the time, but I was having so much fun because people just knew how to play better Netrunner than me. I was building this super weird Kate decks with like Darwin and Cyberfeeder and like boosting Darwin at the start of the turn without spending a credit. Whoop whoop. I remember like I called this deck the Darwinator, and I won my first TNK with it at some point. No, I won with Silhouette, and then a friend of mine came and said, I knew you would make it someday. I believed in you since the Darwinator. And I'm like, you still remember that name? But anyway, we also had Alexander van Lunteren. Shout out to him. I don't know where he is right now. He was an amazing, by far one of the smartest Netrunner players I've ever met. Unfortunately, he's still playing after a while. We had him back in the community back then. It was amazing to play with him. But anyway, fast forward through all these events, and at some point, the person that was organizing all of that basically started getting out of it. Like, I think he had a family or something like that. And he gave the group, like the online Netrunner Nederland group on Facebook, he gave the community group to Robert. And Robert was like, yo, Brosevsky. Well, that's how we call each other. Like, you know, we have various names. Yo, Brosevsky, like, you want to, like, you know, help me run this? And I'm like, well, what are you on about? I've never done that. It's like, yeah, you're good with organizing. You're quite organized. I'm like, you know, okay, I'll try it. And I actually, that was the point where I started realizing I'm actually pretty good with managing stuff. And the next 5 years, you can't name a deck Darwinator and then complain about my apart lipstick. Yes. It was amazing. I love the name. I really love the name. But anyway, the next 5 years turned out to be 5 of the best years of my life. Because honestly, I eventually, like the next 2-3 months, Robert ended up giving me like full access and full, like, you know, control of the whole thing. And the thing is, like, I never felt like I was the main organizer. Yeah, I was the main organizer. I was the one running things, and like I was the one that had to like talk to shops, because there was like a little bit of a feud between the board game stores between like various cities, and they would like put tournaments on the same day, and I'm like, dudes, what are you doing? You know, I get it that you have like a thing between you, but this is not good for the community. You know, we all want to play at your events. You need to actually organize them in a way that, you know, we're gonna attend both. And they started listening to me, and it was really nice. And I was still young back then, right? I was still like getting very cocky, and it was great. But the thing that I was always like 100% sure I was doing right was the fact that, you know, I would keep everything very, very clean and very transparent. That was my number one thing. Like, we always had that thing in the community, and I was always trying to make sure that nothing would, like, you know, look shady, or like, you know, oh, is he doing it just for himself or for money or something like that. Mind you, I never made any money out of all this thing, out of the 2 times that I organized for the nationals, and that was like the semi-last time and the time before that, because they knew already how good I was at organizing, and they just basically, the store owner just told me, organize the whole thing, we're giving you this money and just do it. That is the only times that I actually got paid. Like, and one of those times was actually just because, just for the train costs. So I never made money out of it, and I never tried to make money out of it. But again, there were situations that, you know, you would probably have heard of or haven't, that basically led to like me having kind of a notoriety, which leads to a very funny, like, kind of like, you know, meta thing. You know, notoriety is my favorite card, and at the same time I do have like this kind of notoriety in the Netrunner community, so it's kind of funny. So anyway, it led to the point where I organized a lot of events. I was running all over the place. Speaking of not making any money, link to Trace 5 Patreon down below. Yes, we have a Patreon, by the way. You can support us. You can support us on that. Make sure to check it out. We also have a Discord link, by the way, which is pretty awesome. People were talking about making Apex good earlier, so that's pretty awesome. Don't ask me how. You can read the chat. Anyway. And it basically led to the point where at some point, like, I was trading. So here's what happened, right? When I found about Slack, it was because somebody told me that people were talking really bad shit about me. And I was like, what are you talking about? Why would people do that? And I was very confused. I was really, really distraught, because I was like, I've never wronged anybody. Like, everybody in this community is actually like, you know, the people, like, even in the European community. I started traveling a lot, by the way. I went to like France, Spain, Poland, Greece a lot of times, Denmark. I played Netrunner in many places in Europe, and I met so many people that I might not be like super good friends with, but I stayed in their houses. We had food together. We had good laughs. It was amazing. Like, the first time I met Vesper, the previous organizer for Nice. Like, it was in the Spanish Nationals, and it was one of my favorite times ever. I've said this so many times. If you watch Race 5, I've said it a lot of times that that Spanish event was actually one of my favorite. Little pause. So anyway, I was trading a lot, right? I was really into promos, and the thing is, we had not that many players in the Netherlands. So we were getting a lot of kits, like regional kits, which were for like 32 people, and we had like 20 people regionals or something like that. Like, our good regionals were like 30 people, I think, in Eindhoven, and that was basically it. Like, that was the biggest. Like, I have some pictures from back then. Let me see if I can find them, actually. Like, those are pretty cool pictures. But basically, that was our biggest events, right? And you can understand that those kids back then, FFG was very, very, very nice and very, like, very giving. We had like so many freaking promos. You can't even imagine. There we go. I can. Oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. Wait, I'm just gonna pull the picture to the left. Like, wait, there is an amazing picture somewhere here from an Eindhoven event. Oh my god, look at this. This is crazy. This is the amount of people that we played with back then. Am I doing this right? Yeah. So this is the amount of people that we played with back then. I was like, this was in Eindhoven. Like, look at my stupid little face here. I still had long hair. Like, this is people that came from Belgium, from Germany, from like other countries, like just to come and like from France. Oh my god, Kalimsa is there. Oh my god, remember Kalimsa? Oh man, such a nice guy, but always tried, like, you know, he did like tried cheating a couple times or something like that. I don't remember exactly the story. And like, oh, he did scouting, and he was scouting at this event as well, and I would have to go next to him. I was judging, I wasn't playing, and I would have to go next to him and be like, yo, Kalimsa, please don't do that. People are gonna start saying things again. Please don't. It's like, okay, I'm not doing it. And then he would like leave, and then he would come back and like, Kalimsa, god damn it, man, god damn it. I just told you. Like, anyway, like, it was always so friendly. Like, no matter how casual or competitive you were about the whole thing, everybody was super nice. So that being said, back then I did a lot of trading, right? A lot of it for myself and for the community. And at some point, we did the nationals, like in 2014, I think, the first time I did the nationals at the Spellenhouse in The Hague, and the Spellenhouse tour. And basically, we had so many noise promos. You can't even imagine. So many noise promos left over. It was a joke. Nobody's gonna use more than, let's say, 2 noise promos. Like, you were gonna have one out and one in your binder. Okay, cool. You know, that's already a lot, more than one. But basically, nobody needed it. And I was like, I asked the store owner back then, Steven. I asked him nicely, like, do you mind if I actually use this? They have a lot of value and they go for a lot online. So I could use this to actually get stuff for the Dutch community. And he said, yeah, sure, as long as you can, like, you know, keep me in the loop of what you're selling and what you're doing. So back then, I actually never sold or bought anything. I was always about just trading. So I tried to trade as many as I could. And then after a point, I think I started selling, like, after a couple of years, because we kind of started needing money to actually get stuff for, like, you know, custom things. I was very into custom fan arts and stuff like that as well. Like, we did a lot of things with Jewels Ray in the US. We did a lot of things with Panel Lion in the UK. We were the first ones to commission Boldador for Netrunner art before he became famous and joined Nisi.net. But yeah, we did a lot of things for the Dutch community. And again, I'm saying we because it was never me alone. And at some point, need for noise promos to make a double-sided ID, one for Rebirth and one for DJ Fenris. Yes. So anyway, I am gonna mention a name here. I said that I would not mention names, but I feel comfortable with mentioning this name because that guy actually went out in public and said things about me, so I feel like it's only fair if I can do the same. I'm not gonna say anything bad. I am gonna say in advance disclaimer, I've heard that no matter what happened, the promos that he got from me, he used them for the community, as far as I read online. So I basically traded with Dander Genio, the former world champion. And at that point I had like more than, I don't know, like 50, 60 trades under my belt. And I always sent without tracking, right? Because everybody I've met in Netrunner was super nice. And he was gonna send me like, he did send me like a lot of 3 like NAPD promos and a couple Lotus fields from the Icebreaker event. and I told him that I have a lot of noise promos, and I gave him like a bunch of noise promos, and he said that those never arrived, and I was like, oh shit, there's the bell. What the? Wait, give me a second. That was a mailman. That was perfect. That was so karma. That was perfect. So yeah, anyway, Dan told me that those never arrived, and I felt really shit because I used to trade Star Wars miniatures as well in the past, and I had never had an issue like that, ever. And I was like, oh man, shit, and this is like a lot of promos. This is pretty shitty because he sent me all these things, and I didn't send him, like, it feels like I'd never sent him anything back, and he's in the US, he doesn't know me. It's like, this is kind of, he's probably gonna think like, he just, scammed me or something. And I obviously told him that I can send him things back, I can send him the same stuff because we still had more. And I said, you know what, yeah, I will send you those again. And the thing is, like, I always, if you've ever traded with me, you know that I put a lot of things in the packets despite the things that we've agreed to. I always, I'm very generous with those things. It's just the way I am. I'm not doing it to, like, win karma points or something like that. I know people love the game, so I just add more things. So I added, like, did the mailman bring the noise promos? Yes. Anyway, and basically, I sent him those things. And he said that they did arrive the second time. And then, that's when I found out Slack. One of the people that I knew from Belgium, I believe. I'm not going to say a name. I don't remember who it was exactly either, actually. They told me that people are saying really bad things about me on Slack. And I checked it. And the first thing that I did when I joined the chat, a lot of people were like, oh, no, he's here or something like that. That's all I remember. And the thing that I remember the most is that I scrolled up and I saw my name being mentioned by these dozens of people that I have never heard or seen their names before, like, talking really bad stuff about me. And I was like, I was so distraught. Like, I was like, wait a minute, like, why? Why is this going on? Like, I don't even know these people. What did I do? And apparently, Dan went on to say that, oh, there's this guy in the Netherlands that has, like, organized his little nationals for his country, and now he's, like, trading all these promos for himself. And I was like, that is so not true. Like, why would you go out and say something like that? Like, that's horrible. And the thing is, like, as I said at the start, I was always transparent. Every trade that we did, everything that we sold, everything that we did, and I say we again, was always for the Dutch community. I did trade some things for myself, and I was always super clear about when it was about myself. Like, if you ask anybody in Europe, not even in the Netherlands, right? A lot of the Belgians who, as we say here, and the Germans, always invaded our tournaments to get our promos, they got a lot of, like, really rare promos because of the events that I organized and the things that I was able to get through trades. Like, especially playmats. Like, I traded for so many playmats because we had, like, all the same ones and we didn't have a lot of the earlier TNK ones. So I was like, okay, let's try and get those. But the thing is, like, I was like, why would people do that? But of course it's the internet. And the thing is, little immature Kelf back then replied really badly. And I started getting angry. I started replying to people, which is the wrong thing to do, by the way. Do not engage. And this all, like, climaxed to the point where I also joined an online tournament, the first online tournament that I joined for Netrunner, and I played against this other person. I'm not gonna say the name, and he was playing MBN, and I basically kind of raged at him, became really salty, and that was, like, really unsportsmanlike behavior. Because it's one thing being a little bit mad, like, when you're playing game up close with someone. It's another thing online, just because you have, like, this anonymity, like, through the internet. Which, there's no anonymity for me, by the way. You just Google Kelf so you find my face. And basically, like, that gave me a really bad name as well. I think that was, like, the tipping point. And after that, there were, like, so many people that didn't know me. And they basically just had heard things from other people that, Kelf is an asshole or something like that. And I was like, you know what? The rule one of the internet and also politics. If you're explaining, you're losing. Yeah, exactly. And again, I don't blame any of these people for not liking me. Like, if I had heard something like that as well, maybe back then I would have believed it as well. Like right now, I'm mature enough to, like, I've been through enough shit to know not to believe just anything I hear. But basically, like, it was very, very hurtful to, like, just hear all these people that I didn't know suddenly just, like, have this idea of me, like, being this person that I'm not. And I was like, why would you be like that, But anyway, I moved past that, and I really tried to get out of it. I had, like, a few fights with a few people, like, on Slack, and eventually, like, because of the way I've been raised, I'd say, like, in the way I am, I just wanted to, like, make amends, but people just kept telling me, just leave them alone, just leave them alone. At some point, a moderator said, leave them alone. I did not, because I was trying, like, I still believe in people, and I still believe we can fix things. So I still poked them, and that last poke that I gave to a person basically got me the ban. So that's why I'm banned. But just so you know, I've never in my life, like, ever had sexist, racist, or any other, like, beliefs like that, ever. So if you hear any rumors like that, that's just bad. I don't think there are any rumors like that, but somebody did say something, like, once, and that really bothered me, that really got me, like, really, really annoyed. So yeah, just making sure. But yeah, other than that, basically Netrunner, like, since then was, like, a huge thing. And, like, at that point, it had actually become huge. And that was the point where I actually met the Enschede meta as well. Like, that's when Elwin and the other guys, like, Rule, Walter, and Heis, like, all these guys actually came into the picture. They started playing a lot as well. And we started meeting them. Like, we had, like, this really cool regionals in Delft. I think we have a picture that's, like, a really cool picture as well. Let me see if I can find the picture. I found the picture. Oh my god, we have all the pictures here. It's amazing. Oh, this is a tiny picture. Why is this picture like this? There we go. So yeah, it was really sunny, by the way. That's why I'm like this. So yeah, this is a thing where, yeah, Robert actually won originals here. Look at how happy he is. I love it. Anyway, basically, that's around the time that we met the Enschede guys, and Elwin was really, really into it, and I love that. And this is around the time where I felt like, I can actually start leaving the whole Netrunner organizing thing and just be a player. And the fact that Elwin loved it so much came in right on time when I was leaving the Netherlands as well. So I basically told my very good friend David here, Captain Nice, another guy, Daf from Utrecht, and Elwin from Enschede. I told them, guys, I'm leaving this. Can you please take care of the group? Like, the Facebook group. Can you, like, please, handle it while I go away? Not while, just handle it. I'm not an organizer in any way in the Netherlands right now. And they were very happy about it, and they were really thrilled. And unfortunately, when I left, like, the whole Hague meta and, like, Amsterdam, Hague, Utrecht, like, the whole Western hemisphere basically kind of died out. And that's kind of sad. It really did make me sad. Like Alex said in specific, I really love that. He said, Kelf, if it wasn't for you, we'd be playing with promo stones. Like, he said that the day that I was leaving for Greece. I love that. I'm gonna use that as a code for the rest of my life. That was amazing. But basically, like, the whole family feeling that I felt here in the Netherlands was very countered by the feeling that I had, like, from the international community. So when I went away and I wanted to play more Netrunner and it was online, I kept reading hate comments, like a lot of hate comments. And some of them were on YouTube as well. Like, Christian? Oh my god, I gotta drink more. Christian was never into that whole drama thing. He's a super nice guy. Like, super, super nice. And I can see why he had that stance. Like, he would never get involved, and that was good. He basically told me when I was feeling shit about it, and I was really, like, it's when I got banned from Slack. I was like, I feel like I got barred from International Netrunner, basically. And he said, if you love the game and you love creating content for it, you should not drop it. You should not allow anybody to take that happiness away from you. Like, well, he didn't say it exactly like that, but he probably said it in a way nicer way. But basically, those words, like, really kept me in the game, and they basically kept me streaming. Christian, I love you, Christian. it's becoming so sentimental. Christian is basically the reason why I still do Trace 5. and I am very thankful for that. If it wasn't for people like him, I don't think I would have like continued actually doing this, and it's really cool. And despite the fact that I may have wronged people, I've always tried to make amends, and I still invite people to actually message me if they have an issue. Like I know I've done shit in the past, but nothing huge enough. And if you did feel it was huge enough, like please do let me know to actually warrant that kind of hate. But anyway, Christian would come to me like sometimes with he would send me screenshots. He would be like, why do people like say these things? And I'm like, yeah, he knew the situation. I didn't have to explain anything to him. And he was just like baffled about the whole thing. He was like, why are people like that? Why do they do that? I know it's the internet, but why do they have like this extreme hatred? Have they never met you? And I was like, yeah, I can't. I'm just ignoring them at this point. And basically, he's the reason why I continue playing. So the reason why I'm making today's stream, first of all, I really wanted to do this at some point because I really like talking about Netrunner, and it's like the full story. I feel like I should share it at some point. And secondly, because I was gonna go to the Barcelona event, to Bicom, in case you haven't heard of that. Wait, let me pull the. Always be running. I'm an admin here, by the way, in case you didn't know. I'm cool like that. Not because I know the main creator of Always Be Running. Hey, Sven. You're amazing for doing this. But because I just really like, I really like helping with the whole thing. I don't really do much. I help with the organizing, like looking through pictures and like making sure things are fine. But yeah, I was gonna go to this event, which you should totally check out if you're in Europe. I think it's gonna be amazing. And I was thinking about going to this one. And I had a friend, a friend from Greece, join Slack. She actually she tried playing Netrunner quite in the past, and she joined Slack in the past and helped me with some full art cards. You may have seen some of those. And basically, she joined Slack so that she can get information for the whole thing for me, because it says be the first to know by joining our Slack channel, and I did not have access to that. So I was like, I'm not gonna try and fake an account. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just gonna have someone relay information to me if possible. And basically, she told me to message this new person, Mar, and I was like, I talked with Mar, and I asked her, Mar Polaris, and I think she's the new organizer for Nice. The new organized play person. Anyway, and I messaged her and I said, if I can get information about it, about early payments and all that, because I read something about it, like that, my friend told me. And basically, she said, yeah, okay. And no, she didn't say, yeah, okay. She messaged me back with an email, and basically the email said, I'm just gonna read that one line. It just destroyed me. Like, I will tell you this, in all honesty, this event is privately funded. We're trying to double the attendance from last year, and that is proving to be very expensive. We don't get a full house, we'll be losing money. It's totally understood. This whole situation is putting me in a very uncomfortable situation, since I do not have any issues with you, but I've been told people would withdraw from the tournament if you were to be there. And as I hope you understand, this is making me choose between the one and the many, and I need to go with the many for very economical reasons. I'm indeed asking you to either really make those amends work or not attend this event. Please do not take this personally. I know it's a lot to ask, but I'm between the sword and the wall, and I need this event to work if I want to keep doing it in the future. I do hope you get your chances to make things better, and this doesn't prevent you to enjoy any future Spanish event you might be interested in joining. Honestly, I ordered Uprising and Downfall 3 days ago, and I got this email 20 hours ago. I felt so shit that I was even like looking at tickets to Barcelona. I was like, oh, Spain. This is totally the place I want to be at again, to play Netrunner again. And when I read this email, like the fact that it's more... I do not blame Mar, by the way. Do not get this in any way like, like that. I do not blame Mar. No drama here, nothing. I totally understand it. If I was an organizer, I would not have made the same decision, but I totally understand it from an organizer perspective. But the thing is, the whole story that I just told you, Netrunner was never about the money. Netrunner was always about having fun and having like this community feeling. And the fact that people are going out of their way, like, I understand if you don't feel comfortable with me, but I'm still a person that loves the game. Like, barring me from an event, literally barring me from an event that I would travel countries away to attend to enjoy my favorite game with people that I love, it's just too much. And it really made me reconsider. Like, I was like, holy shit, this makes me feel shit. Like, where does this put you as a person? Like, it has nothing to do with what I give to the community. It has nothing to do with the content I create. It just has to do with me as a person. Like, why would somebody, like, act like that? Like, why would they... If I know a lot of people at Worlds, like, I knew that there would be a lot of people at Worlds that didn't like me, right? But I still had no situations like that. I did get to say hi to a couple people that I know don't like me, but it was only a bit awkward. That was it. Like, other than that, there was no harm done. Nothing was like, nothing apparent or bad from what I know at least happened. But if they felt uncomfortable, you should just let me know. If anything, I think I've proven that I'm quite a, understanding person. And if you felt like I wasn't like that in the past, damn, like, at least now you can give it a try. There can't be like 9 out of 10 people that, have had so much fun in events that I've organized, not even events that I've been in, events that I've actually organized. And you're the one person that still doesn't like me and doesn't even know me. Like, they don't even know me. They hadn't even seen my face. That's the thing. They did not even see my face. Like, they just know this person exists. That's what bothers me the most. But anyway, like, I don't have anything against those people. I do not have anything against those people. I have something against the people that organize events like that and they make it about the money rather about the actual people being there and enjoying the game. Like, I got a message the next morning. It's made me feel amazing. And somebody, like, I told them about that, and I immediately went and asked, like, I'm planning on attending, like, this super cool event. I will talk to you about it, like, in the next video, because I don't want to get it mixed up. I'm very hyped about it, actually. I'm already planning it for after my graduation. It's going to be in summer. And there's this super cool people organizing, like, a Netrunner week in Germany, in Frankfurt. And I asked them, like, is this the case with your event as well? Because I would like to know in advance if people don't like me being there. I do not really want to be there either, because, I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. And they're like, no. And if anything, like, if anybody has an issue with that, they need to solve that for themselves. Like, if there's an issue, like, it's my guest list. I will, do what I want with it. And we all know you, and everybody that we've told that you're coming, they were super excited about it. I was like, okay, that is very nice to hear, because I really needed that. I really needed that after what I read the other day. So yeah, I mean, I'm super annoyed, and I, years ago, Kelf would have made a super dramatic situation about it and probably would have started swearing. I was never the swearing guy except for when I'm talking English. But I have nothing against these people, and I hold no grudges. And honestly, like, I even making this video, like, I took like a long walk just to make sure that what I say today in the stream is gonna be, real and, from my perspective, but I'm not gonna go against anybody. I just want to I wanted to make that sure. I talked to a couple people. I knew that David, when I told him, he would probably say, like, this is not a good idea and you probably shouldn't make this, like, public or something like that. But I love David, because I told him and he said, if you feel it's right, you should do it. And I trust you with it. And he was so super nice. I really like that. And there's so many other people that actually supported me with it as well. And I'm just saying that not to make it seem like I'm right, but the fact that, there's still people that are so close and still support me in what I do in creating this content, however silly or whatever it might be. It's super cool, and that's why I keep doing it. How do they know people will withdraw from the tournament because you go? I don't see how that's possible to know what people will do, even if they have said it. I doubt many would withdraw. I don't know, Pink Warrior. I honestly don't know. But the move on it, like, on its own, like, saying that to somebody that wants to travel countries away to join your event, and somebody you actually know, even a little bit. Like, we've met with Mari a little bit, apparently. I didn't remember her, but we met when I went to that nationals. I met so many people back then. I'm really sorry if I didn't remember one of you. But I saw some of them, by the way, at Poland, at Krakow, and it was amazing. They were like, hey, Kelf. And I'm like, hey, guys, you also play the city game? And they're like, yeah, we all play Lion Honor. It was amazing. But it was really fun. Like, it was really cool when I went there. So having somebody say that, like the organizer themselves, like, say that to me, I felt very, very sad. Like, I'm saying it again, but I think it's a wrong move to do as an organizer. Again, I understand it up to a certain point, but I don't think Netrunner is about money. Like, you want to organize a private event, try to organize it a bit better so that you don't have to have these situations like that. Lion for life, yes. our lion in the Amsterdam meta, by the way, is super excited about the new changes. Oh my god, there's so many new changes, by the way, in L5R. Oh, and Lisa got banned. Yay! Another criminal banned. Anarch is gonna be even better. But anyway, yeah, that's a full story. Like, I think that's as far as the story goes. I think, so, to get out of the whole drama, like, kind of like, you know, tragedy, kind of like where it has come situation, Trace 5, literally, I'm telling you, one of the best things that has happened to me in the last years. When Christian asked me to commentate for the first time on a Netrunner video, I've done a lot of streaming in the past. It comes to me naturally, like the whole entertaining kind of like thing, and like, you know, I'm very good at public speaking and stuff like that. I never had an issue with that. I was very delighted, Lisa to 25 to life. What? What does that mean, Circle? I don't get it. Anyway, when he told me to commentate on the video, I was like, damn, that's cool as hell, man. Yeah, I'm so totally down for that. And he really enjoyed our dynamics, and that's why I kept getting invited to go back on Teamwork Cast. And basically, when he was making Trace 5, and he told me we have like this thing coming up, and we were hoping you would want to be part of it, and maybe like, you know, do streams and stuff. I was like, oh my god, yes. Yes, Queen. 100%. That was amazing. But yeah, no, it was amazing. So let me just make a highlight, right? Best things that have happened to me in Netrunner. 1, I made all these amazing friends through Netrunner. 2, I made all these amazing trips that I don't think I would have been able, like, at all to actually make if it wasn't for Netrunner and the people in it. Might be too American, but 25 to life refers to prison sentence. Oh. That is very American. I didn't know that. 3, I saw people change out of it for the better, and one of those people being myself. Sounds very sentimental, but it's true. I've seen people actually become better people out of Netrunner. 4, we've been a force for amazing change. I don't know if you know the whole funding that was happening for Serenity. I was one of the people that gave money for that. I did an anonymous pledge, but I never told Serenity, and I wasn't gonna. I actually got to play Serenity. Oh, somebody came in the house. I got to play Serenity on the first round of Worlds, and meeting that person up close, I was like, damn, this is amazing. You know, I get to meet the person that actually the whole Netrunner community helped, you know, change their lives. It was amazing. It was honestly something amazing. I never told Serenity. I never told them that, you know, that I helped the whole thing. I just wanted to remain anonymous, but saying it as one of my highlights, I'm just gonna reveal it. Like, it was amazing. It was honestly one of the best things. Another thing, oh my god, the Belgian Nationals 2014. Oh my god. Oh, one of the loveliest times of my life. One of the highlights of my entire life, actually. Making second place, not because I made second place, but because I had Yelta and Steve, a Croatian and a Dutch guy, cheering for a Greek guy playing the Belgian Nationals and playing Nisa Division in Silhouette. And I made second place. Like, the fact that I made second place was not that I was good. It was that I managed to express myself through this very intricate game in a way that other people hadn't done that before. Like, I know I may have gotten lucky, but I did make some good plays as well. But on one hand, I know I may have gotten lucky. On the other hand, I know that, you know, I may have just had luck with just my opponents not playing that great that day. But doesn't matter. And, you know, the whole records after that kind of show that, you know, maybe I didn't know what I was doing, because I did continue to win other events. But it was actually amazing. Like, you know, I felt so happy at the end of the day. I was like, fuck, man. Like, it's like the things that I made it so far into the tournament. Like, you know, this stupid set, Nisa Division with Scorched Earth and Sea Source. Like, oh my god. And I love the game, like, ever since then especially. I've loved the game because it's this amazing way to express yourself in a very, very special way. I don't know. I'm lost for words here. I don't know how to. I don't know how to explain it any better. Like making a Zinteki deck for me is like making a freaking amazing like recipe in the kitchen. Like that's it. And playing Silhouette and like pressing with the siphons and like reveal that and like going with the stealth credits and making the Notoriety run for the win. Oh my god, third place in Greek Nationals a few months later when I played against Laurie Poulter. No, I lost against Laurie, but I played against his friend in the top 3. Two British guys made it to the top 4. One of them beat the other Greek guy, and I was the only one left. And I beat, I don't remember his name. Damn it. He was really good. He was really good. He hung out a lot with Laurie. He was playing the Sansan Astro Train as well. And I went through his Eli, like on HQ run on the 3rd click. And he's like 1 access. I'm like, I don't even care. And I drove the Notoriety. And everybody just goes like, whoa! It's like people come hugging me and stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, this is not happening. I just beat a stupid MBN like the turn before he was going to win, by the way, 100%. Like, I just beat a stupid MBN with Silhouette, with Stealth Ring, and Notoriety. Like, I was like, oh my lord, this is like, there's no way I made 3rd place here. And then I lost to a Samsung train, but I didn't play that game that well. People told me afterwards, they were like, I don't know if you were tired or not, but you did not play to your best abilities. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm okay with 3rd place. This is fine. But basically, it was all so intense. Like, it was amazing. I really enjoyed those years. And the next years were actually amazing as well. The only bad times I had with Netrunner were basically the ones that I mentioned earlier. And one other time where I only ever felt that way, like up close, like I felt that disturbed up close, other than what happened with the event now with the BCom. The only other time I felt like that was when I was in Belgium, 2017, I believe. I played against this one guy, and he was kind of toxic against me. And I told him in the end, like the game finished, and I was so stressed. I had like all this building up, and I told him this is not really nice what you're doing, and I really don't appreciate it. And I just packed my cards and left. I didn't say anything else. And on my way back home, like we had like a 2 hours drive back to the Netherlands, he sent me a message on Facebook saying like, I'm really sorry for the way I acted and all that. And it was so nice to actually see that person apologize. Because, he literally told me that, he had this image of me, like, because of the whole, like, internet thing, the whole thing that I was telling you earlier. But I am not the kind of person, like, if you get to meet me. Again, I understand if people see it that way, but again, I'm not the kind of person. So it was really nice to see that guy apologizing. It made me feel really good and made me feel way better about the whole thing. By the way, that event was won by, oh my god, what's his name? Oh, this amazingly good German player. Oof. Not Pinzel. Not the world champion. What's his name? There's this other guy. He was playing CI and I got destroyed on stream anyway. And I also got to play Marcellus during that event. That was also a highlight where we actually fist bumped on stream. Like top 3, and we're just like saying like mom jokes and stuff like on stream, playing Smoke versus CTM. It was so amazing. And also Gary and Christian were doing the commentary, so that was perfect race 5. That was amazing. And Gary goes like, oh, that's Konstantin's stick. He's doing double Notoriety. It was amazing. And then Marcellus won with a bill that he had on the board. That was just it. It was amazing. It was. I've had some amazing stories from Netrunner. Other really good story from Madrid, that nationals that I went to. I didn't even know. That was the other bad time, by the way. I was playing against an NBN and I kind of raged because people told me about ruling on Data Raven and how you cannot avoid the tag and still keep going with New Angela City Hall, which apparently you can. I don't remember the whole details of it, but anyway. And I basically ended up going to time in that game, even though I 100% was winning it. 100%. There was no way I was losing that. It was all set up. He couldn't do anything. And the guy barely talked any English. So we had to like have people translate for us. And the guy was super nice. And I kind of threw my cards and I got mad because I hate going to time. And then I went back to him and I apologized and he hugged me and everything. We kind of chatted as much as we could in broken English. But he was super nice about it and I really appreciated that. And that was one of the reasons that, I felt even better about the whole trip. I was like, oh my god, even the guy that could have been like really mad to me and like would not want even to talk to me, he actually just came to me and like said it's fine. It just hugged me. Like it was amazing, and I still made the top 8. And when I made the top 8, like I remember Vesper coming to me and saying like, he's tall, right? Vesper is way taller than me. He went to like the wall like where they posted the standings. He's like, "You're 8th." And I'm like, "I'm 8th." And like these two people I don't remember which two people it was. Like they came and just like lifted me in their arms and like, "You're in top 8." I'm like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" And they're like just jumping up and down. It was amazing. I was having a freaking blast. The next day I actually did pretty well in the top cut as well. I made like 3rd place, I think, or 4th, I don't remember. But yeah, I got like this awesome playmat, like the Nationals top 8 playmat, which was in Spanish and it said Campeonato Nacional, which was perfect. It was the perfect souvenir from Spain. I actually gifted that to my friend who plays Apex, by the way. Yeah, I know. I have an Apex friend. Now, my best friend in Greece actually plays only Apex. But yeah, no, I have a lot of good stories. What other stories? What about you guys? Tell me some stories. Tell me some stories. Come on. I know there are people in the chat. Tell me some stories. What other story? There's been a lot. I have a lot of stories with cerebral overriders. Like a lot of them. I have a lot of stories with June bags. Oh, I don't know if you know Kefalopode, one of the shout out Percomis, yes. Percomis, okay, so Percomis is by far one of my favorite people in Netrunner. And that's like, that's like the exact opposite of me. Like people not knowing me and hating me, like just because of they heard some rumors. Like Percomis is the exact opposite for me. Like, I don't even know him that well, but he seems like this beautifully amazing person. And as soon as I met him, like, for the first time, I was like, you seem like a really nice and chill guy. And he actually is, every time I've talked to him, he's super chill. And all the stories I've exchanged with him are actually just amazing, honestly. Like, and that's usually the case with Netrunner people, to be honest. Like, every person that I've met. Oh, and, oh my god, all the stories, like, shout out to every single person that came to me and said, "Hey, I've heard your voice on Teamwork Cast." Like, they recognized me for my voice. I loved it back then. At first it was kind of creepy. Like I would sit down and like play a game with someone and they're like, "I know your voice, by the way." And I'm like, "What?" But yeah, no, that was amazing. Like it's honestly like people have been very loving and very nice like about this whole thing. And everybody at Worlds, like that's also one of my highlights. Brandon was a huge highlight. Brandon, like the blind guy from the US or Canada. Well, that was me. Was it? I've had quite a few people like say that to me. But yeah, so Kefalopodin, one of the Euridios, really good German player, friend of Anton, the guy with the red hair from Germany. Really cool kids, really amazing players as well. God damn it, why does Germany have so many like amazing players? This is why I'm not going to German Nationals. Like, I'm just gonna get destroyed. I'm gonna feel bad about myself. Now, I used to go to German Nationals if you're in Europe. I know for a fact that every Nationals in Germany thus far has been freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. I've heard only the best stories. And also, they don't bar people from events. I gotta say that. No, but the thing is, like, Kefalopod was just destroying everybody in that event. And it was just Swiss. There was no top cut. And I was the only one that got him a loss. He played against my stupid personal evolution Siteki. And the way I killed him, he had everything set up, like criminal, everything. Literally everything. Aramaran wasn't out yet, but he had everything. And the way I managed to kill him was the moment he dropped to 4 cards, I think. Yeah, I believe 4 cards. I basically just did score, and Ronin. Or something like that. Or score, run it. No. Did he allow me to run it? I think he did. I'm not sure. But I basically just won by scoring agendas with personal evolution. There was no other way for me to kill him. And I was like, oh my god. I did it. This is one of my highlights of Jideki. The other highlight is with Percomis. And if you haven't seen that, you should totally check out the last Eternal event I played in. That was Oh my god, Percomis, I love you. I love you. I love your reactions. Like when he hit that that ghost bronze. Color me confused. That was amazing. What other stories? Oh my god, I have so many. I don't even know where to start. Like the time again in Spain when I was told, oh, we're just gonna go for out for a little community dinner. Fast forward to the time where we're 3 tables all connected in an all-you-can-eat restaurant with so many people from different countries. Well, not that many, but still, like people sounding in both Spanish and English, people being half drunk, and just so much mayhem. It was amazing. I loved it. Small community dinner. And then we went for beers, of course, where we couldn't all fit in one bar. So basically, like half the people were outside the bar. Oh my god. What other stories do I have? I met a lot of amazing people. Like, yeah, like the one trader, like that Italian guy that I traded a lot of stuff with for the community. He has given the Dutch community so many things. Shout out to Carlo. He's the guy that told me that Dan may have scammed me, actually, because he said that he also traded with him and he did the same thing to him. But I can't know that. As I said, like Dan actually ended up giving all the promos that he got. He gave them to the community, as far as I know. So I got nothing against the guy, honestly. I just didn't like the behavior. I did ask him about it, but I didn't like continue it, honestly. I didn't go into it. But yeah, no, I met so many nice people. I met like that guy that organized like a lot of events for FFG in Denmark. He was super nice. He came out to see me when I visited Copenhagen. I don't have discounts for what you're after, but you have a story, Pink Warrior? Please tell me your stories. If you have stories, if you're watching this now or you're watching this afterwards, leave a comment and please tell me your story. One of my best games was against the Wayland deck that was running a dedicated response team. I ran a snare with 3 cards in hand and they rezzed the team and said, you're dead. I said, do it properly, and held out my hand of cards into an I Fought Worse. They responded with, who puts I Fought Worse in Saper? I said, someone who's not dead right now. I went to win the game. I have a very similar story, actually. Like, I had one I Fought Worse in my Silhouette deck. Only one. And basically, Steve, my friend, said, you basically just got second place in the Belgian Nationals with a blank Jinteki identity, Nisha Division, and a Silhouette that runs a single I Fought Worse for no reason whatsoever. I think I used that I Fought Worse like once, but I was so afraid of like dying like out of nowhere. Basically, if I lost any cards out of my hand with Silhouette, I was dead anyway, because I only had one of cards in the deck. Like, only one of Fitzbreaker, only one of Cloak, only like one of Ghost Runner. No, I had Ghost Runners, but still, like... I've Got Worse is a very underrated card, man. It's an amazing card. It's an honor card, so you would know it. You know, it's amazing. But yeah, no, I think that, you know, I really like the decision that I made today. That I actually ended up doing this stream. This was good. Like, you know, recalling all the things that Netrunner did. It's a good time to actually, you know, reminisce. It's been a long ride. I honestly remember the day when I saw the announcement that the game had died, that it would get discontinued. I was playing L5R in a cafe. I think I've said that story as well. I've said all these stories before, but anyway, this is a collection of all of them. I was playing with the guy that had the coffee place back then, Nick, and he sat down and I said, I don't have a playmat. You mind bringing me one? Because, you know, I don't want to play on the table and dirty the cards. And he said, yeah, sure. And he brings me like this Warhammer Conquest mat, right? And I'm like, no, he had this Warhammer Conquest mat, and he gives me an L5. He put down his mat, and it was a Conquest mat, and I had a Caprice Nice mat. And I basically go like, I point to his mat, and I go like, dead game. And he points at my mat and says, dead game. And then, 1 hour later, the announcement came out that Netrunner is dead. And he just came to me and said, like, he put his hand on my shoulder and said, saw me in the phone, and he's like, I'm so sorry, my dude, I did not know. It's like, as if somebody I really loved had died. Like, it was so bad. Dead game. No, but when the game was announced to be over, I was actually very unhappy with it. Like, it was around the time that I was feeling very sad about the whole Slack thing as well. But, you know, because I felt like I was out of the community all of a sudden, even though that really didn't matter. I have now realized that I do not need any of those people to actually enjoy the game. The only thing that bothered me was like, you know, being barred from an event, as I said, which makes it a totally different thing, you know. But I realized that, you know, it was so sad. Despite whatever had happened, Netrunner being such a big part of your life, you know, losing it. I remember all of us as like, you know, having all these discussions like with people and what it meant to them, like, you know, what the whole game meant to them. And I was like, damn, you know, what do we do without Netrunner now? Do we just play L5 VAR? Like, are you kidding me? It's nowhere near the same. So yeah, I don't know, like, I enjoyed L5R a lot because I met a lot of nice people through it as well. But I do not even have even close to as many good memories from it as I do from Netrunner. Even though I've played it for just a little while, it's not that amazing. Like, most of the events always had tryhards that gave you like some kind of like negative player experience, especially in the top cuts. I've had the opportunity and the luck to be in every top cut of every Kote that I've played, except Krakow now. And every top cut was just off, except the one in Athens, I guess. The guys in Athens were really nice, actually. Yeah, they were super nice to me. But yeah, no, Netrunner had like a totally different, like, you know, it's a totally different kind of like species, like, you know, different people. Make a satirical game called Notrunner and put it on Kickstarter. There was a game called Netrunner. It was that game where you played DLR. Which, by the way, you may hate it as much as you want, but it wasn't an easy deck to pilot to, like, you know, that far in Worlds, to be honest. It might have been easier than many other decks, but again, like, to be able to win with such a deck and actually build a deck like that and go into Worlds, that takes some cards, man. Like, I always applauded all the people that made, like, those decks that won Worlds. Like, Dean's Railgun, oh my god, I hate that deck. I remember going to a tournament in NCAA and proving my point about MBM being broken and actually just bringing that deck and winning the tournament, like undefeated as well. That was wild. But yeah, no, this so much. I think those are my stories. I have more. I think I'm gonna block right now, and I'm starting to get to the point where I can't talk anymore. I've talked so much. But yeah, it's also very emotional. I may seem like I'm smiling all the time. I'm not saying that to sound like dramatic or sad, but I've had my ups and downs with Netrunner, and as you may understand from the whole story that I just said, it really meant a lot to me. And despite what those people may believe that went all up against me, like, I did have like strong feelings about the game, and it was like taking a big part of it out of my life. So I'm kind of glad that, you know, this whole thing happened and I got to talk about this whole story. Like, if anything, it's a reason to come out and actually talk about it. And I was never the kind of person that would shut up, and that was basically the reason why I got banned as well, I think. Like, you know, that all leads up to that point. I am not the kind of person that will shut up. If you have a problem with me, we better freaking solve it. Like, I am not gonna sit down and just be like silent in the corner. I am not that kind of person. I can't do that. I do understand that people want to sit silent in a corner and not actually, you know, engage, and they need their time. But it's been two, three freaking years, man. If you don't want to make amends, then don't make amends. But you don't have to be in my way of, like, you know, going to a tournament. If I want to travel to freaking Barcelona and be with friends and play, you should allow me to do that. If you're the organizer, you should not bar people like that. I got to play against the Italians at Worlds, one during Crown of Lasers, one during the main event, one during core event. I traded sub-bots for so many of Atien's cards. I love the Italians as well. I have very good experience with Italians. We had Fabio in the Netherlands for such a long time. Lovely person, oh my god. What was it? Oh, what was it that he said all the time? Oh yeah, he said, I remember. Every time something would happen, anything, good or bad. By the way, I love you, Fabio. I love you so much. I hope somebody sells you this. Every time something would happen, like, you know, you would like scorch him or something, you'd be like, beautiful. In a very Italian accent, loved it. Or like, you know, if he siphons you, he would be like, beautiful. It was It was amazing, and we all started saying it as well. It was amazing. Like every time we would play with him, we're like, he was in the event, we would go like, "Oh, I'm dead. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful." And I also got to play a lot with Pietro from the Greek meta. He got married to a Greek girl, so he's in Saloniki now. And basically, I got to play a lot with him. He's an amazing player. Mao, you might have seen him online. He goes by the nickname Mao. Beautiful person. We talked a lot about politics, like a lot. I love it. I have him on Facebook. He posts about Italian and Greek politics all the time, half in Greek, half in Italian, half in English. I just love following that guy. And my experience with him has been amazing. And quite recently, Paolo as well, who is a fan of the stream. He won the Italian nationals. Congrats again, man. And yeah, I've been chatting with him a little bit. It's just amazing. Like you just meet like all these beautiful people from all around the world. Oh, Marek from Poland. Oh my God, I had him as a guest in Greece for like a while. He's in love with Greek culture. He's one of the older Polish players. All the Polish people I've met are actually lovely. Like all the people I played it with. I don't remember. What was the guy's name I played in Belgium? Oh, he was so nice. Such an amazing player. He was at Worlds as well. He's this very quiet, like, Polish guy. He plays so well and so clean. He always plays Saper, I believe. I think. But he was so nice. And I got to beat him with my Nisei. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Beautiful. Yeah, no, it was amazing. Ah, man. But yeah, most of my best memories are actually with people. It's not even about the game. Like, half of it is the game, half of it is the people. Like, you can't even, like, separate those things in most cases. But at most, like, I'd say, this game has made me grow. Because in combination with the fact that I've been traveling, like, abroad for so long for the last 7 years, and, like, getting to know all these different cultures, and going to tournaments and getting to know how different people react to different things in different situations. Like, I think that Netrunner was, like, the huge catalyst for all that. Like, I wouldn't have met, like, all these amazing people otherwise, or I had become this person that I am right now. Like, as I said, if I was the Kelf, the Constantine, like, of 3-4 years ago, when I read that email, I would probably be swearing and posting on every forum I see in front of me. But no, I just decided to, you know what? Let's get this out of the way. Let's tell my story and just leave it in the open. And anybody who cares can watch it. Anybody who cares can hate on it. Anybody who doesn't care can like just leave it be. Like, doesn't matter. I just want to, have peace of mind that I've said my story. I've said my side of the story. I know that people will still have their side and they might say, he's still an asshole. He still didn't do nice things or something like that. I respect that, If you want to be like that, okay, cool. But, please don't be in my way. Just like I've never been in anybody's way, please don't be in mine. And I hope this doesn't continue. Like, I just hope this does get a message through, But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to close the stream here. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. It's been a good run. It's been great. I was very concerned about running the stream, and I want to thank all my friends who actually convinced me to actually do it. It did feel right. I hope I was very honest, like as honest as I wanted to be. I hope I was very subjective or objective. Oh my God, I'm confused right now. Objective? Objective, right? Yeah. Anyway, like to the point, and about the facts, not about like how I feel about things. No games, it really is not runner. No, it was a story time, man. Come on. Or there's gonna be games for tomorrow. I'm sorry, Circle. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I've been trying to make my stupid Nasir deck. Oh my God, it's so bad. It is so bad. I cannot make Nasir work with the new cards. Which, let's be honest, the new cards are not meant to like help Nasir in any way. So it's just my own bad decision of having picked Nasir. I shouldn't have picked Nasir. Harmony Mantic, on the other hand, nothing changed. It's amazing. I think it's actually gonna be really fun to still play. I like Harmony Mantic because it's like Jinteki on drugs. Like, it just goes faster. It's just silly. Like, the only bad thing about it is that, sometimes in normal Jinteki games, you're okay with like giving them 3 agendas and like still going on and playing like, the attrition game. Whereas in Harmony Medtech, you can't do that. So you need to change your whole like mental state and like, how you play the game. You can't like just let them have agendas or like risk putting things down and just be like, oh, it's okay if they take that. I can still win the game, like, you know, in the long game. You can't do that in Harmony Method. You have to, like, play your bluffs right. So I think that, you know, it's a higher randomness and at the same time, you know, skill with it required. I struggle with making wool work. I can imagine making a seer. Wool is also rotator, right? Yeah, yeah. No, you can't imagine a seer. It's basically that. Been playing the World's Palana deck out of Harmony. It just goes faster. It's great. Really? Can you send me a list, Carl? I would love to see that list. Please just send it my way. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for listening to my 1 hour and 15 minute story. Again, I'm very happy this is out in the open. I was gonna say my story at some point. I tried to leave as many names as I could out because I don't want to mention names. There's no need to. Like I would just mention the names that, you know, actually matter and actually, you know, have an importance in the whole story. I don't wanna make anybody feel uncomfortable. Less Zinteki, but still works. Less Zinteki, but still works. Okay. But I found Nexus is great for Nasiras. You can blank your ID with it when you don't want to lose a ton of credits. Yeah, but it costs a lot to install. What are you on about? How do you install that? I can't make any decks work. Clearly, it's a fault of the carpool and not at all a reflection of my skill level. Yes! That's how I feel when I can't build a good deck. And then somebody like Paolo comes out and makes like a Caponessa Wool with freaking diversity of fans. He's like, the game is so simple, guys. Go win the Nationals. God damn it, Paolo. No, but seriously, yeah, thank you all for being here. Please do share your stories. Leave a comment below if you're watching this in the near future as a playback and you weren't here for the stream. Me and Christian always talked about how awesome it is for people to like leave their stories as comments, like of Netrunner. It's one of our favorite things to actually read since the teamwork cast times. Takes you to 5 when you just Motor takes you to 5, then you just run. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, cool. I might try that. I don't know. I don't trust you. Wait, no, I trust Pink Warrior. I don't trust Circle. I'm sorry, Circle. But anyway, this was Trace 5 for today. This was story time. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did talking about it. It was kind of sentimental. It was kind of like heavy. Haven't really talked about this publicly ever, like about the whole situation. A lot of close friends have asked me about it, and they asked like, why do you feel shit like that? And I said, you know, this and that, or I wouldn't go too much into it because it was a lot. But there you go. Now you all know. You have no reason to ask me again, yo, why are you banned? Well, go watch this video. I have a link now to link anybody that asks that question. Do I care about the ban? Yes, a little bit I do, because it does disconnect me from a few people that I could be connected to, and I do like social media. I think that social media can be terrible, but they can also be really good if used correctly. Am I okay with being banned? Yes, I have asked to actually be unbanned. They told me to like wait for their decision, and I did ask a couple times. I believe 1 or 2 times. I don't remember anymore. It's been quite a while. I did ask to get unbanned, but they haven't replied. So I guess it's just a permanent thing at this point. I was very sad that I can't be part of the fan arts community anymore because I really love that, and I basically like, you know, jump started the whole thing around this area as well. So it kind of does bum me out, but okay, you know, we'll still keep doing our own thing. I'm very well connected with artists, so that's fine. I don't mind that. But yeah, no, I'm okay with it. Like, you know, I want to thank all the people that have been watching Trace 5. This has been amazing. Again, Trace 5 is one of the reasons why I still play Netrunner, if not the reason, because I don't get to play Netrunner enough, like on the tabletop. And the whole Discord thing that we started and seeing people discuss sometimes, even discussing how to make Apex work, is actually pretty amazing. And I'm really glad and I'm really thankful for all the people that I still have around. So thank you for that. From the bottom of my heart, I hope you do keep hacking the planet, and I hope it goes well for you. Except for when you're playing against Medzinteki. I don't hope it goes well then. Yeah, thanks for the stream, everyone. Thank you for being here. Bye, everyone. Hack the planet! Shut up and go to the core! Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a good New Year's Eve. Well, no, I will see you again probably. It's like the 27th. Yeah, we'll probably see you again. It's like 28, 29, 30, 31. I'll probably do like 1, 2 more streams. We'll see. We'll see. Until next time. Bye.